there are several emergency preparedness activities organizations can engage in to be better prepared to handle any type of disaster, whether that's natural disasters, human-caused threats, or technological disasters. And first and foremost, organizations should invest their time and resources in developing an all hazards emergency management program that addresses all phases of emergency management to include preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery. And an emergency management program should include developing robust emergency response and recovery plans that addresses their organization's approach to handle all types of hazards and disasters. This includes developing an emergency operations plan or emergency response plan, developing an emergency notification system plan, continuity of operations or business continuity plans, and then conducting hazard and threat identification and risk assessments, developing an exercise and training program to test the response capabilities to deal with disasters. And what's great about that is you can identify gaps and weaknesses in your program and then start investing resources in buying down those gaps so you can have a much more effective emergency preparedness and response program. And traditionally, a business continuity plan includes things like identifying hazards and risks, conducting a business impact analysis, developing those recovery strategies that are focusing on saving lives, and identifying those critical functions and services that need to be restored immediately. So you can identify short-term, medium-term, and long-term restoration plans and strategies. Yeah, so I'm really a big fan of organizations conducting first and foremost a threat and hazard identification and risk assessment, because you want to really identify and prioritize those hazards and risks that may impact your organization. And then after you prioritize them, you want to kind of put them in the list of high, medium, and low. And you want to identify your capabilities and where the gaps in those capabilities lie within your program. And there's no better way to do that by developing a very robust exercise and training program. And organizations should regularly train their employees, conduct exercises, see where those strengths and weaknesses are in their emergency management program, and then make those plans to correct them to get better. And organizations should also include an employee education and awareness program. Organizations must not forget about the individual employee, and they must ensure that employees are personally prepared to handle disasters. Because organizations should include a regular training and exercise schedule, and they should regularly train their plans throughout the year, whether that's quarterly, biannually, or annually. And then they should update those plans whenever they have lessons learned from real-world events, and especially after an exercise. That's a great opportunity to identify those areas that you didn't do so well in that exercise, reevaluate your plan, and then make those necessary updates, and then test again. It's a cycle. It's a continuous cycle, right? We create a plan, we test that plan, whether that's a real-world emergency or an exercise, and then whenever we find strengths, we want to continue with those things, and whenever we find weaknesses in our approach, we want to implement those corrective actions. So that's something that we should do on a regular basis, have a schedule, and then make sure that all of your employees are aware of that schedule, and then commit to regularly exercising and updating your plan.